Praise the Lord again, everyone. This is Pastor KJ. Thank you again for joining me again. Thank you again. Thank you for joining me here at the House of Prayer Mesa as we go through the scripture and talk the word and do our best to get a better understanding of the word as we just study to show ourselves approved unto God. Listen, going to Romans 8:28. You know the text. No problem. You shouldn't have to go there. Okay, well, maybe you do. So I'll read it for you, okay? I know it too. And the text says, and we know that all things work together for good. Now, I want to make sure we're getting that right, because that's a little pet peeve of mine. It doesn't say all things work together for the good. It says for good, and I'll explain that, why that's such a critical place right there in the text. We know all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called. Now, that's where the "the" goes, not in front of the good, who are called according to his purpose. Let's take the "the" from in front of good and put it in front of called. So it's, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. And I'm going to stop right there. Greek is very difficult language. It's a very difficult language because words change their meaning depending on where they are used in the text and how they are placed in the text. So the same word can have a different meaning from one text to the other, or that word changes the meaning of another word in the text because of its placement. That's the "the" right there. That's the "the" that we're talking about. When we say all things work together for the good, text doesn't say that. It says work together for good. "The" is what in Greek is called the definitive article. It has a definitive article because it points to one thing. One thing. It's one action. And so it says the good. So when you say the good, it can't, then it differentiates, or it confuses the all things, because the all things cannot point to one good. All things have to point to all good. So all things, he says, work together for good. It doesn't matter how bad it is. All the things that you've gone through, all the things that you've been through, all the things that he has foreknown about you and predestined you in, they're all, no matter where you come from or what you do, or whether you know your mother or father, or whether you were a foster child, or whether some things happen in your life that you don't understand. What he's saying is all those things work together for good, not a good, but good. And it says to them that one love God. Now that's a prerequisite for the all things working. We can't complain when we don't follow God and when we're not within the parameters of his love, or we aren't washed under the blood. We can't blame God when we're outside of him and doing what we want to do and living for him the way we want to live for him. And then things are going to hell in a handbasket and you're wondering, well, where is God? Well, where are you? Where are you? You can't go to work half the time and show up when you get ready. You can't do what you want when you hit that job, or I couldn't do what I wanted in the Marine Corps. A basketball team, there's a set play, and those set plays are designed to create shots. But if you don't run the play or do what needs to be done, then every single person on a football field has a specific task, so that everything will work together for good, whether that's getting 3 or more yards, or whether that's getting a first down, or whether that's getting a touchdown, or whether that's opening up, playing against that defense. That's the thing. If you aren't living for him, no, loving God means living for him. Loving God means studying and obeying his word. Loving God means that you're on your knees in prayer. Loving God means that you're fasting. Loving God means that you're hearing his voice and not following strangers. That's what loving God is. And without loving God, those all things won't work together for you. That's first thing. Here's the second thing. It says to them who are, now here's the definitive article, the called. The called. Yes, there's a specific called. Many are called, but few are chosen. Now, but you're called. And if God has touched you in some kind of way and said, and is calling you to come to him, if he's calling you to come to him, then come. But if you aren't the called, you're not in this. You can't fake it till you make it. You can't fake it in this. You have to be one of the called. That's the second requisite. You love God because you are called. He called you. We love him because he first loved us. So he called me and I love him. And now because he called me and I answered his call and I love him and I learned to love him more and more, all things are working together for good to the called. And that's a specific call. Those are the people, the other people that are not the called are the ones I talked about earlier, who are just doing what they want to do. And then all of a sudden when things go bad, where is God now? Well, I mean, as I said in one of the videos earlier, I think it was a video yesterday, I've never fired anyone. You lost your job. It wasn't my fault. If you lose your job and I got to let you go, it's because you didn't do the gig. You didn't do the job right. So that's the call. Now, here's where we're getting the purpose. It says, "Who to them who are the called according to his purpose." According to is an interesting term there because we are called for a purpose. And at times, Greek runs backward. But understand purpose. The all things are working together for good to them who love God and are called according to his purpose. Purpose is very interesting because how much time I got? Okay, cool. Purpose is very significant because it's God's purpose that has been given to you. He has charged you to do something for him. So it's his purpose given to you. Remember the analogy I told you about the baton. His purpose has been handed with you and you're running with it. Write the vision and make it plain so that they may run with it that read it. So the thing is, it's the purpose of God in your life. And the purpose of God in your life is determinate upon being called and loving him. In purpose, that's very significant there because in purpose, loving him will drive you toward purpose. Loving him will push you toward purpose. Loving him will keep that purpose in your heart and in your mind, and you're never forgetting it, and you're always doing something about it, and you're always working on it. And people are saying to you, other people are saying, well, you ain't doing nothing with it, and this and this and this, and you're preparing for it. You're getting ready for it. It's his purpose. It's his purpose that's given to you. And if he's charged you to do something, you're called. And then God is entrusting you because you love him. If you saw the video yesterday about leaders, commit those things to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. Commit those things to faithful men. And so you're called and he loves you. So the thing is, he's given you that purpose. And you say, okay, well, I don't have. That's the first thing we talk about when we talk about purpose. I don't have. How much time I got? Okay. I don't have. In purpose is provision. You get the job to get the check. You get the job to get the benefits. You get the job to do whatever. The purpose is to do something so I get a job. The purpose is to do something so I get a car. The purpose is to do something so I get a larger apartment or a larger house. The purpose is to do something so I need this outfit to go to the interviews. I need that. That's purpose. Purpose isn't always doing something directly at the main purpose, but doing something that facilitates and that's around the purpose. So you might have to get a suit and that's still striving toward purpose in order so that you can get an interview, in order so that you can finance the vision. You're still thinking about purpose, walking in purpose, and purpose will drive you. And in purpose is provision. In purpose rests everything that you need. One thing will open doors for you. Bishop T.D. Jakes was doing a Bible study called a Sunday school class. He was writing his own Sunday school lessons because they couldn't afford books. So he's writing Sunday school lesson. He wrote the Sunday school lesson called, I was going to say crippled no more, that's mine. He wrote a Sunday school lesson called Woman, Thou Art Loosed. Purpose. He starts teaching this woman, Thou Art Loosed, and people started coming from everywhere. And then this minister that had a public access television show there in Charleston said, why don't you come on and do that for me? And he did that for me, and someone else saw it and picked it up, and someone else saw it and picked it up. And the next thing you know, he's all over the place. And then he's teaching about fathers one day, and the late Paul Crouch walked over to him and said that message touched him. And next thing you know, TBN opened for him. One thing opens a door for you to do everything else that you want to do. And in that one thing rests your provision. You have to know that if God, because he gave you purpose, lets you know that you're in him. Because, and let me go back. And the next text says, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Note the great people that have come in this world, and they have made a significant impact. And then there are many people that try to copy what they do. It's fine. The firstborn. If God put purpose in you, you got to move, because you are the one that the earnest expectation of the creatures waiting on the manifestation of the sons of God. If you begin to work on purpose and you begin to get in your purpose and do your purpose and work that purpose, believe me, provision rests in it, but you got to keep moving. But that's purpose. Love God. Know that you're called. Know that he put purpose in you, and you cannot miss. But purpose is dependent upon those two conditions. Love God and that you're called. Without those, he may not have given you purpose, because he can't go against his word and entrust to you something. He can't entrust to you the treasures of the kingdom, because he can't trust you, or because you don't have the faith, or you'll do nothing with it. Like the man that gave 1 talent. Remember, the scripture says there in Matthew chapter 25 about the talents. The master knew them so well, he gave them according to their different abilities. He knew the one that had 1 couldn't handle 1, may not be able to handle 1, or if he did handle it, that's all he could handle was 1. And he did nothing with it, as you see. And then he thought he was real good because he had saved it, handed it back to his master and say, look, I can give you back what you gave me. You've done nothing with what he gave you. So if he's called you to purpose, do something with it, okay? Do something with it. Hey, gotta go. Get in touch with me. I'm 12 minutes in. Get in touch with me. Ladies and gentlemen, get in touch with me. KJ Howard Ministries at gmail.com. Pastor KJ at live.com. If you want to ask a question or put something here on the House of Prayer Mesa Facebook page, please do so. Please do so. I love hearing from you. I want to hear from all of you, positive and negative. Let me know what's going on. Tell me if there's something I can fix, or if my shirt was crooked or something was going on. All right. And also, if you want to donate, we need to get House of Prayer Mesa off the ground. I need your help. I really need your help. And it's going to, you can send that to KJ Howard Ministries, House of Prayer Mesa, Post Office Box 1215, Mesa, Arizona 85211. We're setting up the PayPal account was supposed to be done. Unfortunately, it has to wait till the end of this week for it to get done, but I want to get it done. Believe me, it's going to happen, and I'll make that easy for you to go on PayPal, and you can donate on PayPal just right online, and it's secure and it's good. And so looking forward to talking to you, looking forward to seeing you again, and thank you again for joining me, and I appreciate you. You guys keep your head up, keep on fighting the good fight of faith, and he will do the impossible through you. Bless you.